Sorry, guys. Just trying to sort myself out. Right. Let's get rid of that because that ain't working. I'm back on my iPad today, guys. Sorry about that. The voice sounds a bit funny. Let's turn you off. Okay. Yeah. How are we all doing? Is there anyone in? Can we have a see? Is there anybody in the chat? Right, let's work in. I wish I knew my way around computers because it does my head in. Laptop seems to keep resetting itself and then the speakers don't work. Who knows?
I'm here. I've got to see if I can see the buttons, what to press. Right, I need to go back to Philip. Let's see. Oh, I'm losing everything. I think am I back? Yes, right. Are you ready, Mr. Paranormal Paul?
Good to go.
1 2 1 2 1 2. Hold on. God. I think that's right. If I'm hitting the wrong buttons, we'll never know. We'll never know.
Let's move that.
Maz is in the chat. I think this is going to be one of them shows. I'm telling you. If I get us live, it'll be a miracle. 1 2. Good evening, guys, and welcome to Journey Through the Unexplained. I don't know if we're live. I don't play. I'm hoping that anyone on Pulse Talk Radio will actually say I'm live. I think we are. I do think we are live on Pulse Talk Radio. Welcome to the show, everybody. It's Thursday night. We're back. It's Journey Through the Unexplained. I just want to say a massive, massive thank you to Philip Solomon that's taken us through the last hour over on Pulse Talk Radio. Great show. As I say, I do apologise, Philip. I just caught the end of your show this week, but I can't hit the buttons at the moment, so I don't know how I got there, but we did. Welcome to the show, and my wonderful co-host, Mr. Paranormal Paul, is with us.
Hello, good evening. How are we doing?
We are all good in the hood. I think I can hear you. Just about here. It's my end, not your end this time. I haven't got my earphones on. So, welcome one and all. Welcome one and all. We are live. We are exclusive on Pulse Talk Radio and Facebook and on YouTube. So, welcome. Let us know you are in the chat. If we are live, I can see a comment come in. Man, I'm going to blow the screen up so I can see everything a bit bigger. That's a little bit better. I am squinting, guys. As you can see, I'm not wearing glasses this week. So we don't know how long. We're going to go for about an hour and a half, we think. But due to my eyes at the moment and looking at this screen, it's going to give me a bad eye problem if I carry on too much. So I've agreed to do it. I want to do it. We're going to try and do something But if I hit the wrong buttons and take us off air, then I do apologise, because it's only me trying to do something that I want to do, but I can't see anything close up. Long distance, fine. If I was sitting on the other side of the chair, Paul, I think I'd be all right.
Yeah.
But I'm not. I'm
You do look like you're struggling, mate.
We'll get there. We'll get there tonight. How you been, Paul, anyway? All right?
Not too bad, not too bad. I'm a little bit dicky early on this morning, but I seem to have cleared up a bit, so I'm good. I'm good. Been busy.
There's so much of it going around at the moment, isn't it?
Yeah. The wife's had a terrible cold this week, which I've managed to swerve, and the kids for some reason. But yeah, it's just germs here, there, and everywhere. It's the weather, innit? 1 minute it's lovely and hot, then it's freezing cold.
You in your t-shirt? You're not in your t-shirt. It's crazy, you know. I think this afternoon when I was driving home, it was saying like 19 degrees on the car. But when I went into work this morning, it was about 3 degrees.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
It doesn't make no sense. You think there's no way that this, you know, that's nearly sort of what, a 16%, you know, degree difference. It just don't make sense. It really doesn't make sense at the moment. But hey ho, we are in England. We should be used to it.
We do get all 4 seasons in one day, don't we? So
we definitely do. We're just gonna have a general chit chat tonight. I'm assuming Paul's got a few things that he's looked at, wants to get off his chest. But I do think that we start with the big elephant in the room that's been making the news this week. Well, it hasn't made the news, which I think it should have made the news. So we know there's a bit of a cover-up that's made the news, because it hasn't made mainstream news. But the weather in Dubai.
Yeah. I must admit, I've seen a lot on that.
Which I have never ever seen the likes. Good evening, Heidi. Welcome to the show. Wonderful to see you both back. Yeah, absolutely brilliant. I did read that right. I did, yes. But I was watching it, and I didn't think anything of it. I've been to Dubai. Me and Simon have both been to Dubai, and sort of just been there. And the thought of any rain is quite bizarre. When we had a slight rain shower, and within sort of 10 minutes it was gone. My head sort of goes along the lines of sort of like America. You get 2 hours of rain, torrential, then after that, sun comes out, disappears. But this was apocalyptic. Did you see any of the videos on sort of TikTok, Paul?
Oh, yeah, all over it. I mean, funny enough, I was watching our mainstream news this morning, the old Good Morning Britain, I think it's called now. And they mentioned on it, and straight away they've gone, well, it's climate change. And I sort of lost me rag a bit, because, I mean, there's no secret that Dubai use cloud seeding. That's how they produce the rain in the desert. You know, it's open. The government's open about it. That's how they get the rain. And they've openly admitted that there was a big storm coming in. They basically seeded this storm like crazy to try and get it to open up over the sea. And they've openly admitted doing that. So, but unfortunately, it didn't open up over the sea. It's waited until it's got inland, because it wasn't just Dubai. It was, you know, but yeah, they've already sort of admitted doing it, making the storm 10 times worse than it would have been, producing more rain, and yet on our mainstream, well, it's climate change. No, it's not.
Especially when the governments have admitted it.
Yeah.
Especially when the governments had clearly admitted that they're, you know, cloud seeding, or, you know, I don't know if they are governments over there or whatever. There's a comment coming. Hold on. Morning. Feels like morning, Steve. But no, there's definitely obviously something because there was pictures that people were stuck on planes for sort of like 7 hours because it was like 3 foot deep of water on the runway.
Crazy.
And the ones that, you know, the ones that really I was interested in, and like I was lucky enough and fortunate enough to go up the Burj Khalifa when we was in Dubai, and I don't know if you know anything about sort of Dubai, but it is run by I think it's run by sort of 4 main sheiks or whatever they're called, and they all have different sort of colours. So like one's green, one's red, and things like that. So all the supermarkets will have either one sheik on the front that's their supermarket, a taxi cab, if it's got a red roof, it belongs to that sheik, and things like that. So when the Burj Khalifa was built, it was paused for 6 months. It had to be paused because what had happened is no one had realised that it become the tallest building, and it was right on the sort of, what do they call it, the runway into Dubai. You know where the planes come in. So it was on the flight path of. So instead of just like capping the building off and thought, oh no, look, we'll make another one down the road, blah blah blah, they actually went to the airport and changed the runway around. They said, we're just going to swap the runway around. It's going to go that way instead of that way. So you come in this way now to carry on building the Burj Khalifa, which I find just, it would never happen in this country, would it?
No.
Could you imagine that? Could you imagine the rigmarole, what you would have to go through? Planning permission. You'd have to then do sort of your 14 days consultation, tell everybody about it. Then it'd take years.
Yeah.
But this took 6. I think they had it turned around. I think within the new runway was done within sort of a month to 2 months, and planes were landing on it. It's just like, it's crazy. But and it's so high that you're, most of the time when you get to the top, you're above the clouds.
Wow.
So you sort of, when the fog is, you're above the clouds. So the videos were all of them in the storm, up in the, and they was filming it, and I think I would have absolutely capped myself. There's things that I say I'm when it comes to things like that, I would have loved it. I'd have absolutely loved it, but I'd only loved it for about 15 minutes and said, you know what, I'll go down now. I'd rather be at the bottom of this place than rather be at the top watching it. But I'd never seen anything like it. Even like the cars going along the road had to stop because the windscreen wipers couldn't go fast enough to. Now, that is one major balls up.
Oh, gotcha.
One major balls up, because that is unlike, Dubai.
Well, people have died, haven't they, as well? I think they said on the news this morning, was it 13 or 14, 19 kids, or people have died, some of them kids. So, it's shocking.
But you could imagine sort of what would actually, today I could imagine what is actually going on in Dubai. It's probably up to its standard and rebuilt everything within minutes, and the roads are clear and everything. It wouldn't, if that happened in the UK, could you imagine? We get a bit of snow that's 30 centimeters deep and it stops the whole country.
Yeah, 30 centimeters deep. It has to be about an inch deep to stop.
But but do you actually, we can talk about cloud seeding, and they've obviously done the cloud seeding because they've openly admitted it. They've manipulated the weather to, what they was hoping to drop the water over the sea.
Yeah.
But do you think that there was, there was something else behind this? I looked a little bit deeper. As you say, I can't look at anything anymore without thinking there's something major going on. It felt like it just didn't feel like the right storm.
Yeah,
I've never. Sorry,
go
Paul. Go on. Say what you said.
I never really got there was something else going on with this, but to be fair, I haven't. I've been a bit far and few between with watching the videos and that this week. But the fact that they'd already admitted doing what they'd done, I think if there was a hidden agenda, then they wouldn't have admitted doing what they'd done. They would have just completely denied it the whole way through, like every other country does when it goes wrong.
But even when you watch storms in the US, around the globe, I have never ever in my life seen anything so dark. The clouds were like night. Now even when you had sort of the Mississippi storms, the hurricanes that have ripped through there, the tsunamis over when they had them over in Asia, there was never that black, and I'm talking about clouds like the blackness behind you.
Yeah.
That it was jet black, and the only thing that you saw was the flashes of light within sort of within the clouds. But it just didn't seem right to me. It really didn't seem right to me. Paul, I'm gonna, if I put the comments up, will you read out?
Yeah. Sorry, bit off topic, but anyone else think Paul looks like Holly from Red Dwarf? It's the black shirt and the black background. Just see your head, Paul. Sorry, I had to mention it.
Well, it's coming back, I think, Red Dwarf again, isn't it? I know.
Really?
I think they've done going to do another series. So
I'm back on my iPad this week, so I'm just sorry. My laptop's buggered up on me.
I'm going to have to call you Holly from now on.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to call you Holly. But no, sort of going back to the clouds, that it just didn't look like the right sort of clouds that I'm used to seeing. It seemed to be something totally different. Now, that could have been a chemical reaction within how they cloud seed. It could have been overdoing it. It could have been too much of this or too much of that. I don't know, but there just seems something within the clouds. By all means, it could have just been just a storm for all I know. And as you say, they knew something was on the way. But even when they have their sandstorms in Dubai, it never looked anything as apocalyptic as what that did.
Can you imagine being in the middle of that?
That's what I said to you. For the first 15 minutes, I would, as long as I was in my house and I was up about 4 floors, so I know we weren't getting flooded, I would have been all right. I wouldn't want to have been on the ground floor. But even I don't know if you saw that the sewage was all backing up through the sinks and up the plug sockets because the drainage couldn't cope with what was going on. It was just crazy. It looked absolutely crazy that this storm, which once again in its own right doesn't necessarily, you know, I know they get rain in Dubai, but still, this was just catastrophic. And, you know, as you say, I know they've addressed it, and it just, I don't know, it just felt something totally different. It really did. It felt totally different. Oh, here we go. We're gonna have an hour of trying to put us right today. Here we go. This should be whatever we say is gonna be disagreed with. Evening, Christian. How are we? Haven't seen you for ages. But we was talking about the storms in Dubai, Christian. I know that it'll just be a normal storm to you. We know that, but that's not what we're saying. We're talking about something totally different that we don't think it necessarily was. Stop with the feelings. Stick with what is it? I can't read it.
Stick with the facts. Oh, yeah.
Stick with feelings. Well, that's you know me, Christian.
It kind of is the facts, isn't it? They've admitted that they seeded the clouds to try and open the storm over the sea.
Yeah, and that's what probably could have caused the deluge. It could have been overseeding, if it's a thing. You know, I'm assuming there is some sort of math to how it works. I don't think you could just go up there and do something without figuring out how much of this and how much of that, and you know how
they've been doing it for quite a while now, haven't they? Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Since the 50s, I think, was the first thing, wasn't it?
Sorry, I can't. I'm
cloud seeding is for farmers. It's been used for ages, and you can't do it without a type of cloud to seed in the beginning. Now, that's what I'm saying. They knew the storm was coming, so they seeded the storm cloud to try and get it to open up over the seas. They've already admitted, yeah.
So it could have been just one big balls up.
It's a huge storm coming their way, and the whole intention was seed the hell out of it to get it to unload over the sea, but it didn't work out that way.
Did it just hit Dubai?
No, other countries on the way, I think.
It did. I thought it might just hit Dubai. I can't remember where it's actually hit. But no, I've never seen clouds like it. Even in films, I've never seen clouds like it. And that to me, it was just something different. I think I do think there was a genuine storm within it, but I do think it was hiding something else as well, because it was jet black. You know, it was absolutely jet black, and you couldn't see past it. Not like you can see past it anyway, but I'd just never seen anything like it. So for me, there was something with it. Something definitely wrong with it. But hey ho, we move on with that one. I'll throw it over to Paul. We've got some other things to talk about as well. But have anything that sort of got on your mind this week? Any videos that you've seen?
No, I've seen quite a few follow-ups with the eclipse that happened in America.
Yeah.
That was a bit of an climax for us at the start, wasn't it?
I think.
Come on. He was really hoping something good would have come out of that.
But we sort of knew it deep down, though, didn't we?
Yeah. But I've seen quite a few weird videos coming from it, and I keep meaning to try it myself, to be fair, especially at trying to take, because they're all being told, don't look at the sun, don't take pictures of the sun because it'll damage the camera, this and that, blah, blah, blah. I've seen a lot of videos of people taking pictures of the sun. I think I sent it to you, Russ, didn't I? And I remember doing a show about this as well. I think when I first started out. about the artificial sun. I think it was China was making, wasn't it? It was like that big. It looked like the James Webb Telescope type thing, actually,
Yeah.
but it had loads of, super bright whatever LED or whatever bulbs they had on them. They were trying to recreate the sun, basically, and what the reflection people were getting on their cameras, it is like little honeycomb grids, isn't it?
That was
We've never seen it before, and I thought, well, that's quite. I must admit, I wonder if it does it if we try it. But then I suppose I don't really want to risk damaging my camera. But
Can it actually damage a camera?
I don't know. I mean, I've taken pictures with the sun in the background before. I haven't sort of gone directly at it, but
I just don't see how it can.
no.
I just don't see. I'm sorry, you're gonna have to read the comment.
The sun is a nuclear reaction. A light bulb is a resistance of electricity.
So I don't get why that's.
Yeah.
I know our conversation will be delayed, but see, we've got comments are coming in well behind, so there is also
William Reptile. What would they be hiding behind or within the storm? Going back to Dubai, I was assuming.
Yeah, Jim, I don't quite know. I just feel that it was, if we do have extraterrestrials, which I strongly believe that live on this planet along with us, it could be getting something in or out of the Dubai area, or that sort of coastline of the United Arab Emirates, Sudan, Oman, anywhere around there. Possibly, I don't know. There is a lot of things when they do sort of get. I've noticed it sort of throughout time when something major happens within the world, i.e., senior leaders pass, or someone of high ilk, or linked towards extraterrestrials being on this planet. You will always notice that the weather is crap.
Like a distraction or
like a distraction where I believe, and I sound crazy saying it, but I will say it. But I do think it's a way of getting craft into this country without people seeing it. Ideally, I think they can get normal craft in without us seeing it, maybe, but larger craft, I do feel that they have to sort of hide within storms or cause a low cloud cover to allow things in. Not to say this Dubai one was, because obviously the cloud seeding they've emitted, have they just overcompensated? So that's possibly what I feel on that one. I know Paul is staying very
No, I was letting you finish. I know what you're saying, and I too do agree to a certain degree. But with this one, with Dubai, I think it is just a bit of a major cock up in the fact that they want to play God, and it's sort of backfired on them. Just leave the skies alone. Let the planet do what it does. We don't need theory things like that. And I think it's just backfired on them big time on this one.
I'm gonna go to comments because I'm going by the colours on the screen rather than seeing. So it's a different colour.
Yeah.
Oh, Paul's gone. Paul went and come, and I can't read the comments. I do apologise, guys. So I don't know what's happened, but can you still hear? I can't even read the comments here. I don't really know what to do. I'm a little bit lost because I can't read. Paul can't hear me. Can anyone else hear me in the chat? I don't know how to do this. Is it me? I don't know if it's me. Audio. My mic is working. My mic is working, I think. Yeah. think, yeah, go out and come back in again, Paul. I can't read the comments, guys. My eyes are gone at the moment. So Paul needs to come back in. And can someone, that's it. Sorry, guys. You just have to deal with me for a minute. I'm hoping you can hear me by looking by the comments and seeing the comments. I think I can hear you, so that's okay. So it is me. Yeah, thank you, guys. Thank you. I'm hopefully Paul will be back in a minute and dealing with it. But no, I know I've got Scott. I can see Scott Hollandine and dealing with it. But no, are you there?
Yes, I can hear you.
Right. That's it. It was you, because I think people were saying I can hear me.
Yeah, well, no, but the screen just went blank and then it come back on, but I couldn't hear you.
Sorry, what's this one? Can you read this one? Sorry, Paul.
Yeah. If it is indeed aliens, I hope they're not like E.T. He gave me the creeps. I hope they're more like the 1990s television alien Alf. Yes.
Yeah, I said that the other week, didn't I?
You did, didn't you? Yeah, that's
Jimmy's on my wavelength. Yeah, I would rather Alf any day of the week. I'd love Alf. Alf was legendary. He really was legendary, Alf. That's exactly what I would want as well. I'm gonna go back, yeah, but that's, as all I can say on that topic is that is potentially what I feel might have happened. It just seems out of kilter with what happens in Dubai. I know they have a lot of storms, sandstorms and things like that, but that was a good hiding of something in the sky. What it was, I don't know. I really don't know. But that's just my side of things. But no, let's go back to the eclipse. Okay, I know we jumped from here to there, but it's because of the comments are delayed, guys. That's all it is. The comments are delayed, so we do have to go backwards and forwards. But let's go back to that eclipse, because we did say it on the last show that we did, that something was going to happen, but we really deep down knew nothing was going to happen. We've lived with eclipses for how many years, and it was going to be nothing. But
people were picking up on this one as being different, though, wouldn't they?
Yeah.
I mean, usually, honestly, I've seen so many videos, and I know a lot of people post some rubbish out there, and sometimes it's hard to tell if they're good at editing and things like that. But usually you can see the line of the moon coming up. You can't obviously see the bright side of it, but you can see like the outer effects of the moon as it goes near the sun, in front of the sun. And people were saying you couldn't see it at all. And I'm seeing other videos, all you could see was just as it went in front of the moon, in front of the sun. You didn't actually see the pathway of it there or afterwards. But it was constantly moving. As soon as it went in front of the sun, it stopped moving. And then it continued like that. And I thought, well, that was interesting. I caught that on quite a few videos, even ones that didn't mention it. I try to keep watching them, and when you see them, it's sort of the moon coming across, constantly moving, and then Bosch just stops, and then it carried on. And I thought, well, that was weird. It stopped for a good 3 minutes as well, 3-4 minutes.
And we get to, I do think it was hyped up. I do think that the world that we live in now, I think everything's a conspiracy. How many times have we said it? We can't look at anything without thinking it is some form of conspiracy, or we have to look deeper into it. If there was a new episode of Neighbours come on, we would question.
Yeah, why?
Why? So I'm gonna go to the last comment I clicked on, and I think it's this one. Have we read this one out?
No, the black honeycomb from bright light is the honeycomb structure of the camera screen.
So that
The
it
black
could be a
honeycomb from.
You said the honeycomb shape, remember? I'm assuming Christian's talking about.
Yeah, it's the light flare. You know, if you've got a light, when you've got a camera in something, if you've got a light or something, you get that reflection, the lens flare.
Yeah.
Of the actual light. So, you know, you look at previous ones. If you go to the sun, you'll just get that sort of white glow as the flare. But this one, seeing it's like a honeycomb. I sent it to you, didn't I, Russ? A few of them that caught it.
As I say, I've.
That's the only way I can describe it. It's like a honeycomb thing. I've never seen it before with any. I mean, I get it a lot with my cameras when we do our ghost hunts. If there's a light there,
you get that little.
It's just basically a negative of the light.
Yeah.
That
little green thing that follows. You can also get that little green thing that follows you around, can't you?
But this was, very grid-like, wasn't it?
I say I can see videos, but I can't see intricate details of videos. I have to listen at the moment.
I'll have to throw. I know I keep saying it. I'll try it and remember to throw some up on our Facebook page. So
to be fair, on my phone today, I've been using a magnifying glass to anything close up. You know, I've been using a magnifying glass to sort of read the things. Or less, you know, I do that thing that that you do, and you hold your phone sort of like at arm's length away from you. That works as well. I do think I could just go into, Tesco's and get one of them pound pairs of cheap reading glasses. You have to read all this quite easily. But my glasses are just not capable because they're for long distance. My glasses. And I've read that one, haven't I? What's that say?
You said China recreating the sun. To recreate the sun, you need nuclear fusion, not LEDs or light bulbs. No, he's taking it literally. So for someone like you, Christian, I thought you would have known about this because it was quite a big thing when it came about, and I think it was easily 2-3 years ago when it was quite big in the papers, wasn't it? Basically, China wanted to recreate the sun. I'm not saying they used LEDs. I'm saying it looked like the sort of shape of the James Webb Telescope.
Yeah,
that's the only way I could describe it. And it had these big things on it that I don't know what they were, but I'll have to try and find the article actually, because it might. I'm assuming they'd explain exactly how they would do it there.
I say I must admit I can't relate to the story. I can't remember the story.
Oh, you will do. If I can find it, because I'll definitely remember mentioning it on this show.
I can't remember it in my head. I can't remember it in my head. Sorry, I can't see the. I know I've got a big one come through. So
least flare. I think that means lens flare is because of the glass lens, not worth cameras. It's about the LCD screen quality. The screens can't handle the contrast of light, so they show the inner structure of the camera screen. Put a sun filter over the camera and it's crystal clear eclipse. Not supernatural, just technology. No, it wasn't an eclipse they were taking a picture of. It was the sun, because they were saying it's meant to be 3 days of darkness, according to the Bible, on this particular eclipse. So people were taking pictures or trying to get pictures of the sun. And because it wasn't even round, it was sort of oval shaped as well, wasn't it? So that was a conspiracy on that one. But people were getting a lot of these honeycomb lens flares, which I've never seen before, and obviously they'd never seen before. Even people that sort of photograph the sun and the moon, and they got all the equipment with the telescopes and this and that, and even they were picking up on it, and they'd never seen it before. So it was bizarre. I'm not saying I know what it is. I'm just
it's just
saying what people have captured.
Yeah, but the one that got me, the funniest one was the clip yesterday with the woman, and she said, "I'm going batshit crazy."
Yeah.
That was just brilliant, because that just generally felt like me. That video just summed me up. She's looking at the sun, and she now, don't get me wrong, I have seen, when I do feel when the sun is low in the sky on a crystal clear morning, I get what she's saying. If that makes sense. It does look like a different color. The sun generally does look like a white color instead of that sort of orange glow that we're sort of used to. I think our brains are sort of attuned to that orange glow, but there is some mornings that I think that's going to be to me, I think that could be generally to do with sort of the atmospheric conditions. That will make the colors change. But yeah, she just reminded me of me, because it's like everything that she looks at, it's like, yeah, love. I think, I get what you're saying, but I don't think at that point I was like, yeah, I do get what you're saying, but I don't take anything, because there is a long way between us and the sun, or us and the big light bulb in the sky, whatever we want to call it.
I like the fact that she only went out and done it because it was sort of going viral on TikTok, with all these different people questioning it and coming up with it. She said, look, I'm seeing it. So I thought, right, no, I'll go and do it myself. So she went out and tried it herself, and she was picking up the same. And I thought, no, I mean, it's bad on my part, really, because I kept saying, I must do that. Not that I've had much chance to do it with the sun, but...
Yeah, when do we get sun in the UK? You get it?
To be fair, it hasn't been too bad today, but we've always had that haze in the sky that just sort of blocks it out.
Or the rain. Another.
Yes, it was nuclear fusion. Their longest record was 17 minutes, 126 million degrees Fahrenheit, and was 10th of Jan 2021. There you go. So they was trying to recreate the sun.
There you go. But should we be messing with that? Should we be messing with that?
No.
If the sun exactly exists and we all believe,
why would you want to recreate that sort of thing on the planet?
I don't know. I generally do not know. I generally do not know why.
I mean, they're only guessing at the actual temperature of the sun. Let's be honest. No one's actually sent something into the sun to, with a thermometer.
I'd love to see that thermometer.
It's always guesswork, isn't it? Well, we're saying, well, it's this hot, it's that far away, so it must be this temperature on the surface.
I'd love to know how they can even measure 126 million degrees Fahrenheit.
Exactly.
I'd love to know that. I'd love to know how they've even contemplate measuring that. What doesn't burn at that temperature?
Well, nothing, surely.
That's what I'm saying. If they've recreated it on this planet, surely they've just burnt a hole in anything that was near it.
Or even trying to create it.
Yeah.
Light spectrometry measures temperature and structure.
Yeah, like I know what that means, Christian. Seriously. There's always one that comes in, isn't there? We've always got one.
I suppose it's no different than the temperature zappers you use, is it really? It's just on a smaller scale. You're pointing at a wall, it's hitting something, but then that's coming. Oh, I don't know.
I don't know how they measure.
I'm no engineer in that sort of field.
Yeah, same here. Absolutely same here. I haven't got a foggiest how they do it, and I'm sure my little temperature gun, if I pointed it, it'd say error come up on it because it'd just be too hot. I don't think the FLIR camera would absolutely, pick up on 126 million degrees. But even that, here we go. Go on. I can't read that.
Light reflects as different wavelengths depending on temperature. For example, when it's hot hour and you drive on a hill, the light reflects from the road and looks like water. Yeah. That's the light refraction at different temperatures. Okay.
You said that as if you knew what he was talking about. I say, and this is why any kids watching, should learn at school, because you never know when you might need it. All them days I went and played football over the park and not learned. I regret that sometimes now.
No, you don't.
No, not at all. Because I don't, that's a scientifical look at it, and Christian has a scientifical mind, and his brain will have to have scientific evidence, and if that, if it's based on science, there's a scientific answer for it. That's it. But I don't necessarily believe in scientific evidence. I think
it's only right until it's proven wrong, isn't it? Let's be honest.
Yeah,
it's constantly changing.
And that's how I see it.
School isn't probably the best place for science and discovery. Just be a geek and get interested in physics, biology, experimentation.
Yeah, I think I'm past that.
Yeah.
Well past that now, Christian. My brain don't want to learn anything anymore. I forget my own name half the time. That's why it's on my arm. No, but what's the key having?
He's a keyboard warrior, isn't he?
He is.
You don't need to believe in scientific evidence. You can break down the experiment and it just works. No need for faith or feelings. Science doesn't care about emotions.
Yeah, but I get all that. I do get all that. And, Christian knows I'm a strong, Christian sort of good friend, and we speak quite often. And he knows my beliefs. He knows my feelings about, spirits and ghosts and things like that. Science can't prove that, but I know it's there. I know it's there. There's nothing I can experiment in real time that Christian would probably, I couldn't show him anything in a physical form, table tipping or spirit board or anything like that, because of he would think someone's pushing it, and that's sort of, I suppose the only way that you'd ever really get Christian with it is if someone come through in spirit and told him, told me his darkest secrets, and I tell him that he's never told anybody. I don't know. That's the only way that I think you would ever sort of. But then I should think Christian would come up with some form of throwback to what it would be and how that would work. In my eyes, I don't think I could ever prove to Christian that ghosts exist or extraterrestrials exist. I should think I've got more chance getting Christian to believe in extraterrestrials than I have in ghosts, because we hope that one day extraterrestrial will just come up on our TV screens and shake his hand. Then there is no argument in the fact. But I can never get Casper the Ghost to do that. There's so many coming in.
Science never proves things. Science is there to show us how things work to the best of our knowledge. As our knowledge advances, we learn more about the same things. Yeah. I don't have secrets, Russ. I murdered a few people, but we all do.
But no, that's just how sometimes it rolls, isn't it? That's just how, you know, it goes. I don't think you'd ever get Christian to believe in anything that we do.
No.
You know, I really don't. I don't know if, you know, I'll ask you the question, and I'll ask anyone the question in the, you know, the
Well, I have a lovely concrete patio now.
I say I ask it to everyone that's listening, and I ask it, you know, how it is. Is like, what is the, you know, Christian, what is the most bizarrest thing that you believe in? That's a genuine question. He'll come up with something really stupid. I know he will, but you know, if there is a conspiracy, Christian, that you would tend to believe or have a slight inkling in, or you know, a waver with, what would it be? You know, if there's people watching it, got this, I ask that to anyone. Is there, you know, you may not be a conspiracy theorist or a truth seeker, like, you know, what Paul likes to say. I'm a conspiracy theorist.
It's always good to have the two sides of the story anyway, you know, because the conspiracy side, you know, Christian might make them think, oh, well, hang on a minute, I never thought of that. You know, that makes a bit more sense. Or it could completely go the other way. Well, that's nonsense. But I think you always got to try and get both sides of the story, haven't you? And then make up your own mind.
And the thing with Christian is that you can have a laugh and a joke, and you can have a serious conversation, but he may walk away and think, you know, you're a total out of the nutcase, but he won't let that, you know, we'll still have the conversation again the following week. And I think that's how this world should work.
Oh, 100%.
You know,
you haven't got to agree.
No, you haven't got to agree. And you haven't got, you know, that if you disagree, there's nothing wrong with disagreeing. There's too many people out there that, you know, are too far this way or too far that way. And actually, because we don't agree, there's an issue there. You know, I don't see how that works, because I have an opinion on something and someone else has an opinion on something. Does it make me wrong or right? Until you absolutely can categorically prove that, I don't think you can. I can't. Oh my God.
Quantum entanglement.
Why did I ask the question? Why did I ask the question? So my brain goes to quantum leap. I can't help it. As soon as the word quantum in there. So
I think it's the next comment. I think he explains what he's going on about here. Get my phone smaller than that. Two atoms that are entangled in a quantum level act and react to the same factors, even if only one is exposed to the other and the other isn't. Regardless of the distance between them, it's now proven, but mind-blowing.
I'm out of my depth. I put my hand up. I don't know anything about quantum entanglements. I don't know whether to show you.
I don't agree with this whole straight thing. It's not natural. It shouldn't be taught in schools.
Oh, Christian, I'm so glad I can't read the comments properly tonight. I'm so glad, and Paul's got to do it. I could just see the laughing emoji at the moment, so I knew something was coming. But I think it's just how it's going to be. I just think there is no wrong or necessarily right on this this sort of this planet. I think, because I believe in extraterrestrials, Christian doesn't. So be it. Generally, so be it. Will it let us not talk? No, of course it won't. He might think I'm a nutter, but so be it. I've been called worse. It is a process of life. There is two sides to every sort of story. If it may be wrong, it might be right. You might think I'm ludicristic, but so be it. I'm not that fussed, to be fair. So, truth seeker or non-truth seeker, it don't really matter.
It's definitely a wrong. I'm also very stubborn, and I own a whip.
God Almighty! But no, guys, we are going to call it a night, okay? Because my eyes are streaming. They are absolutely streaming.
You look like you're having a massive hay fever attack. That's all. Oh no!
It is. It's just where I'm trying to focus and just putting them under too much stress. As I say, if I had a pair of glasses that I could read small print with, I know it'd be all right. It's just it's just puffy because it's just trying to read. I've been trying to read the computer all day, and I have tried wearing my glasses, so they just don't work for a minute. So I did want to get through an hour, and I just can't read anymore. My eyes are going to they're hurting. My head's hurting. So I do thank everybody that has joined us tonight. I know it's just a little 1 hour show, but over the next couple of weeks, this isn't permanent. This is just a blip. All right, this is just a blip until the medication rights itself. It has got steadily, progressively better over the last sort of week. It's nice to not wear glasses and wear a nice pair of sunglasses. But it's just close up. At distance, it's fine. I think if I stood all the way back, it'd be fine. But at the end of the day, I've been told it'd be okay. I've got to trust the process. That's as simple as it gets.
Trust the science as well.
Trust the science, yeah. Trust the science. But I will just end on this note. I've been seeing the doctor and the nurses and speaking to nurses regularly. Okay, and when I first went back to the doctors and said, "Look, I think there's something wrong," and they took all my bloods and everything, and then obviously I got diagnosed with type 1 diabetes, so I'm on insulin. And I was talking to the nurse, and this is what she said. She said she actually asked me these questions. How many COVID vaccinations have you had? I said, I've had none. I had none. She went, oh, that's okay. That's okay. I said, can I ask you why you've said that? She said, the upturn in type 1 diabetes since the COVID vaccination has doubled.
Yeah.
It's finding a lot of people that had the vaccination have gone to type 1 diabetics. They've not even been 2, they've just gone straight to 1 and on insulin. And I think I threw a little bit because I think she was expecting me to say, yeah, I've had 6. And when I said I had none, it was like, oh, okay, then we've got to do the proper tests now, isn't it? I'm not it felt almost like if I said yes, they could have followed the line and thought, just do that.
It's scary though, isn't it? You know what I mean?
It is.
And that's all you're hearing. You're hearing more and more about it now. It's crazy.
Yeah. So, but yeah, it was very, very weird. Very weird. And that's what just, I just confused her when I said no. So I was quite happy that I have got diabetes. You know, one of the things that it wasn't my fault, and that's what I thought it was generally my fault at first, but it wasn't. It's not gone the way it needed to go. I suppose it was at the beginning when I was type 2, but type 1 it wasn't my fault. So but hopefully next week I shall have a pair of glasses on. I'll be able to read the comments. I'm hoping that I can get us off air if we've ever been on air, because I don't know. Thanks for everybody that has joined us over on Pulse Talk Radio. We will be back next week with our normal hour-and-a-half show, and a little bit more structured. I just wanted to see if I could do it and see the screen and things like that. It's been hard. We've got through it. Next week, hopefully better. Take care, everybody. Stay safe, and we will see you all next week.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, everybody that is over, join us over on Facebook and YouTube tonight. Sorry it's been a short show, but I just wanted to test everything to make sure that everything was all right, and I don't want to push it. I just want to make sure that we can get through it. I don't want to go to bed with a stinking headache. That's one thing I don't want to do. So everybody, thank you ever so much. Take care. Christian, thank you. Heidi, thank you. Scott, thank you. Jim, Natalie, thank you. Everybody, Maz, everyone that's commented, thank you ever so much tonight. Take care, and we will see you all next week.
Bye-bye.